what blows me out is that there's so many people in the alternate media that see all these false flag attacks and know that they're false flags, and yet they still buy into this whole Islamophobia and all the stuff that the government's selling to go with it. You know, people seem to be, half in the matrix and half out of it. It's really bizarre.
But I've had a lot to say recently about a guy called Paul Joseph Watson, who's been working with InfoWars, which has grown into something extraordinarily huge now. It's got its own satellite network now. It's a multi-million-dollar operation. And it used to say that InfoWars, the editor, and I've known Alex Jones years and years, been speaking to Alex for a long time. And it used to say there's an elite agenda to bring about mass depopulation on this planet, to pit us against one another, to create false flags, to do all of these things. That used to be the narrative. The Alex Jones narrative today and his minions is vote Donald Trump. The other political parties and politicians, they're responsible for all the death and destruction because they keep ignoring this Islamic terror and they keep letting people into the country, and maybe we should put a ban on Muslims coming into the country. What's going on there, Max? Am I wrong? Are people like me wrong? I mean, David Icke had a pop at It Today, and he's never had a go at anybody in the 25 years he's been doing anything. But so pissed off is he to see that he's actually jumped on it and said, well, I'm not having it anymore. This is outrageous. Where do you see that?
Well, I would say that it indicates that the whole InfoWars thing has been controlled opposition from the get-go, and that now that we see the end game sort of actually ramping up, they're supporting their candidate. They've totally flipped. And you've got to look at the internet and what InfoWars has done. I mean, Alex has spread a lot of good information to people. He's woken a lot of people up in a lot of ways. But you look at the internet, I mean, what is it? I mean, the internet, it's been great. We've been able to share information and all that sort of stuff. We've been able to connect each other, but it's also given the government the means to keep tabs on everybody. And by presenting things like the way Alex does and getting people riled up and angry and getting all these people, screaming and doing all these radical chats to each other and all this sort of stuff, they can now know where all the dissidents are. And so now he's sort of pushing the political agenda the way I believe he always has been. I mean, they don't call it the net for no reason. They don't call it the web for no reason. It is a web and it is a net, and it's caught a lot of people. They know where all the free thinkers are now. And I think Alex Jones has helped very much with that. I mean, I've always been on the fence when I've looked at him and thought, well, people called him controlled opposition and said all sorts of stuff, but I've always thought, well, maybe there's a place for him. Some people need to be yelled at. There was a video clip that I saw of him a few years ago where he completely interrupted a gun rally that I found very disturbing. He just completely came in with his megaphone and started shouting over everybody and utterly ruined the rally, which was actually a good rally and a very productive rally they were having. And he kind of obliterated that, so I kind of got a little bit sus on him then. But now with this whole turnaround and this pushing of Islamophobia and this whole vote Donald Trump, I just think that he's been bought and paid for. I think he's been controlled opposition all along.